Question: what am I doing here at 2:15 in the afternoon? Back in 30 seconds. Good afternoon. I was almost tempted to say good morning like I normally do at 6:15 a.m. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Hope that this live show finds everybody doing well. The last thing that I expected to do was do a live at 2:15 this afternoon. However, we're going to talk about the reason why I'm doing this and the reason why we should change things up every single day. I want to first of all thank everybody who's been commenting about the muffins, the muffin recipe. Thank you so much. That brings a lot of joy to my heart. It is so nice to know that you guys are enjoying those recipes, the pancake coffee cake mix recipe and the oatmeal muffin recipe. I have another doozy on tap, but I'm going to talk about that later. But I want to get right to my purpose for being here this afternoon. But first, I need my, is it chamomile? Chamomile tea. Who drinks chamomile tea out there? It's good in the afternoon. And by the way, I brought my phone with me in case it rings. It is the middle of the afternoon, and you just never know. Phones ring, bells ring. I apologize. This is real life. Okay, the reason why I'm here is I want to shout out a channel that probably many of you viewing this probably know, but there are some that may have never heard of it. Mornings with Granny. Yes, Mornings with Granny. She is back. We are so happy. We love you, Mornings with Granny. We love your inspirational messages. We love your recipes. We love how you share your time and your life with us. We just were so missing you, and we are so thrilled and excited that you are back. Now, I want to mention to you the reasoning why. Today's specific video on the Mornings with Granny show, she does a series called What If? The What If series. What does that mean? Well, basically, and she inspired me to do a few months back, and I have you, Mornings with Granny, to thank for that. Thank you very much. The whole idea of those videos are, for example, Mornings with Granny, she will present a paltry amount of food. And the idea of it is for us to figure out what do we make with that. And let's say a person doesn't get a paycheck for a couple of days. How does that person or persons, how do they stretch this into their budget? I love those videos. They are thought-provoking for so many reasons. One, of course, the challenge of figuring out what to make, right? But then the reminder of how truly blessed many of us are. But many of us aren't thinking about, well, how am I going to stretch a potato with one egg and whatever? You have to go specifically to that video, which later on, when it is totally possible for me to link it up into my description box after this is processed, I will definitely link up that video. So I strongly suggest that you get there. The other thing, it is a reminder of us to never, ever take things for granted. We have a tendency, every one of us, at times, everyone, we're human, we have to work on it. Many is the time we take things for granted, things that are considered small, for example. It may be small to you, but it may be monumental to someone else. So therefore, yet another reason, I'm positive that God put it in my heart to come on today to point people to that specific video. And that is one of the reasons that I came on live this afternoon. I was flirting with the idea, but after I saw that video, I said, that's it. This absolutely has to be shouted out. The other thing is, it's very interesting. This morning, I like to get inspiration from Joyce Meyer. I'm just mentioning this. I like to get inspiration from her. And I noticed a quote. I don't know who did it. I don't know who had written it. The person that wrote it didn't claim it was their quote, but it's someone wrote this and I'm sharing it. It's just too good to bypass. Quote, when it is not in God's time, you cannot force it. When it is in God's time, you cannot stop it. Oh, very, very thought provoking, in my opinion. How many times do we want things always going our way and not accepting the reality of things? We try to fix it, we try to mold it, and we try to plan it. I believe God has other plans. And I don't mean to come off preachy, but I just, this all comes together to me because I was totally inspired to come on live this afternoon. I see some comments. Good afternoon, Adam. How are you? Only coffee with milk and sugar. Okay, nice to see you, Adam. Hey, Doug, how are you? That's your favorite normal. Fair, Adam, but you decided to change it up today. Hi, absolutely adorable studio. How are you? You're having coffee too? Ah, God bless you, Adam, and God bless every person that came here this afternoon. I just felt that we have a tendency, two things we have a tendency to do. We have a tendency to take things for granted. I know someone that was, incapacitated for a little period of time. And of course, that person was hurting and it was not fun. That person certainly appreciates everything. And then when that person felt better, they like extremely appreciated it. So too do we when we get sometimes temporarily incapacitated. But sometimes some people are chronically have to live with chronic things. And we always will be mindful and try to look out for someone and help them in any way possible. Just saying, just saying. Isn't that quote amazing, Doug? When I saw that quote, I immediately had written it down and I said, this quote is in my heart and I have to share it. That was like, okay, first thing, check mark to share. And then I just left it at that. Then I headed over to the Mornings with Granny channel and I saw that video. I said, no, that's it. I'm convinced. I am being told to get on this thing this afternoon, not wait till 6:15 tomorrow, but this afternoon and share a cup of tea, of which, by the way, I'm going to grab another sip. I like my chamomile tea. Very, very nice. It's decaf. I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. So one thing we tend to do as humans, we tend to take things for granted. Every one of us, I don't care who you are. We've all done it. Is it the right thing to do? No. Should we be mindful of it every once in a while? Head over to that video and it will be a reminder because there really are people out there as I speak trying to figure out how to stretch this little thing with that little thing. And we've been talking all week long about stockpiling. So I said, oh boy, you know what? I was like, you know what, Janet? Tone it down slightly and like let's get to the reminder of the people who are trying to stretch, their stuff out. Okay. But I will be back tomorrow morning at 6:15 ongoing with the stockpile discussion about things that are not food related. Hey, Steve, how are you? Okay, I'm going to put up Steve's quote. Okay, so Steve had a sprained foot last week and he had to rely on himself and it was very, very challenging. Yeah, I remember that, Steve. I do. But thankfully, you got through it and I'm so glad that, you're feeling a bit better and it's very not fun. So that's one of the things that we tend to do. We tend to take things for granted and we're all going to work on it. Hopefully that's my wish. The other thing we tend to do, and who would agree with this? We tend to get into a rut. What's a rut? Well, for those who really don't know what a rut is, it's doing the same thing over and over by rote. Now, some things should be done over and over by rote, like taking a shower, brushing your teeth after every meal as much as you can, stuff like that, maintaining your health as much as you can. That should be like kind of like a given kind of thing. But and the things in your life that you have flexibility with, it's actually a good idea to change it up. Tell me something. Was it fun to find out that I'm coming on live at 2:15 this afternoon? Don't get me wrong. I love doing my 6:15 in the morning. I do. I really do. But not everyone may love to watch me live at 6:15 in the morning. Thank God for replay and for playback. But I said, you know what? I was flirting with the idea of, coming on this afternoon in the first place this morning. Then I says, shush up about it. Then I go and find this quote. And if you missed the quote, I'm going to say it again. Quote, when it is not in God's time, you cannot force it. When it is in God's time, you cannot stop it. In a way, that kind of like lifts a lot of weight off of our shoulders. Okay? Because sometimes things occur we may not well, a lot of things occur that we don't understand. Okay, let's just put it that way. Sometimes things occur we don't like. For example, a kid keeps crying to his mother and father for a bike. He wants a bike, or she wants that bike, wants it, but doesn't get it. There may be a special reason. I don't know the reason, but the parents may know the reason that they might feel that their kid is not ready yet for that bike. Okay. So when we are deprived certain things, it's for our protection sometimes. So instead of always fighting it, getting angry at it, sometimes you just, give it up and just let it go. Know what I'm trying to say? Just like gotta let it go. But as far as getting spontaneous goes, I think it's a very, very good thing. Change your routine. I've told this story in the past too, okay? About some people that walk the same route every day. The same route every day. The same route every single day. Could that be a little boring? I think so. So the simplest thing that they could do without going crazy is cross the street and look at the other side, okay? And then they're going to see something from a different vantage point. Doug, going to point that up. Put on my trusty glasses. Okay. Doug, this isn't about the shout out. Kate Caden had an interesting take on the wearing of clothes during the pandemic. Oh, yes, I saw that. I try to never miss Kate Caden shows. And that channel, please, everybody, head over there. If you've not heard me mention it a few times, I have, and I always will. Kate Caden, great show, Doug. That was very, very good. But in this case, as far as like timing of things, so, okay, let's suppose that you go out at 7:30 in the morning, okay? And for whatever the reason, something comes up and you can't get out until 8:30 in the morning. Is that going to ruin your day? Gee, I hope not. I mean, it's good to, you have to be a little flexible in life. You have to be a little bit flexible in life because believe me, it sure takes a lot of stress off of you. Debbie, how are you? How Debbie says, I completely agree. You got into a rut and didn't even realize that you've been working so hard and had not stepped out of the house in 3 days, went for a nice walk, and you felt better. There you go. Just changing one activity. I'm not saying like get up tomorrow or later today and just do 150 different things. You could alter one thing you do. You could stop watching a certain TV show. How many times you watch a TV show that you really don't like? And you're like, oh, I don't like that show. And then the next day you put it back on. And you go back to, I don't like that show. Okay. Is it me or is there something wrong with this picture? You have the power to not turn on that TV show. I hate it when they play that song every day on the, just don't put it on. There are things that you can fix and there are things that you can change. Just saying. Hey, Doug. Diversity in life is a good thing. It really, really is a good thing. Hey, Michigan lady, how are you? You need to change. You're so stressed. You feel like you're going to pop. You know what? Okay. When you do that, you know what? Put on some nice music. I mean it. Take some time for you. If you're really feeling that stressed out, Michigan lady, go to a nice, quiet, dark room. Sometimes just dimming the lights, just makes you feel better, right? Put on some soothing music or take a hot bubble bath and allow yourself. There's a lot of people that are stressing out. They don't give themselves permission to chill because we are so programmed. You got to do this. You got to do that. The kids, did this, did that, the house. Whoa, whoa. Take a breath. Take it easy. It's okay. Let go and let God. If you are a faith person, this is my recommendation. If you're not a faith person, you might consider it. Just saying. That's my style. So anyway, Michigan lady, really, everyone viewing, you need that time. That's why I designate myself, and Steve could verify this because many times we're on video chat, we're having our afternoon tea together, like usually about now. So, Steve, I guess this qualifies as today's tea. So usually about now, we hang out, we talk, we have our tea. I don't care what busy day either one of us are having. We usually take 15, 20 minutes, half hour, have our tea, decompress. You need to take some you time and not feel guilty. You know something? I'm really glad I came on this afternoon, Michigan lady. I promise you everything will be okay. But I also have a feeling, and I don't mean this for you, Michigan lady, okay? But for anyone, I'm not saying this is you, but for anyone, if you do things exactly the same way, I have people say to me, especially now that we're kind of like in more, I've had people say to me, but it feels like one same day. Well, can you change that? Some of it you can't fix. Some things are beyond your control. But there are a lot of things. Wiggle room. I'm bored. Well, you might decide to look up some videos on doing something constructive, like even if it's constructive fun, something positive. Keep positivity in your life. You have to remain positive. Lisa, how are you? She says hello to everybody. Doug watched Sergeant York with Gary Cooper last night. That's cool. Very good. And there you go. And Steve is having his tea with me as if we normally would in the afternoon. Are you still drinking the orange spice tea, Steve? Because guess what? I found a whole bunch of my orange spice tea that Patty from the Life with Patty channel sent me last year in a beautiful tea holder. Like many times I'll just rather drink regular tea. I changed it up the other day. I don't want to drink the same. Even minor changes. Minor changes bring big results. Just saying. Hey, Debbie, I'm so glad to catch you too. You know I love you. I love every single one of you. Does anybody have a question before I go? If you do, let me know. Oh, wait. I'm not going anywhere yet. There's a couple of things. Okay, Sharon Jackson. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Sharon Jackson, you're not going to believe this. I'm going to do a special bonus upload about 6, 7 o'clock tonight. 2-ingredient muffin mix. That's actually 1 ingredient. Why? Because one of the ingredients is water. Now, I don't know if you consider sprinkles an ingredient because sprinkles are like optional, but if you have some spare sprinkles. So if you're on an extremely tight budget, you're going to get to make really easy, beautiful muffins that Sharon made. I have the photo for it. I cannot show the photo here live. So that's why I'm doing that bonus upload about 6, 7 o'clock. Michigan lady. Wait a minute. What's this about laughing out loud? Doug. Yes, you still drink it. All right. Doug, thank you, Jan, for making you laugh out loud. Did I do that? I love you too, Michigan lady. You are one of my loyal fans. Ah, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Hey, Lisa, what are you having? Apple cinnamon spice tea, caramel tea bag. Yum. Oh my gosh. There really is an endless array of tea flavors these days, aren't there? Wow. Not like, so like, you get into a rut. I was getting into, oh, I just have to have that regular, not saying there's anything wrong with it because I do love it. The, standard regular cup of tea. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do a tiny change today. This is the day of changes, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to have my chamomile tea. I love it. I do. And then last night, Steve, I thought of you and I had the orange spice. I had orange spice about 8 o'clock. Well, listen, it's up to us. So come back later tonight. It's not going to be a long video, but it's literally like a 2 ingredient optional sprinkles video. 2 ingredient. One is water. So I don't even know how many ingredients to consider. What would anybody consider one main component ingredient that requires water and optional sprinkles? Is that a 1 ingredient or is it a 2 ingredient? What do we call that? I don't know what to call that. I'm like in the lurch here. I call it simple and I call it very wallet friendly. So you may be interested there. Oh, it was free on YouTube. Yes. What are you having? Adam's having tapioca pudding for a change. How cute. You know something, Adam? I haven't had tapioca pudding in a long time. That's very good. That is good for anybody else doing anything differently today for a change. Even if you think about it. Now, tomorrow morning, when I come back at 6:15, and if you don't watch it live, that's fine. Watch it on replay. We're going to talk about non-edible emergency supplies that are recommended by authorities, in case of an emergency. And I'm really like basically just touching upon it, okay? So if there's anything that you can come up with between now and tomorrow morning, please, by all means, let me know in the comment section. Hello. Debbie, I'm making you hungry again. You haven't eaten lunch. Debbie, it's 2:37. In another hour and a half, I'll be eating dinner. I strongly suggest you eat your lunch. Just saying. Kathy. Hey, good afternoon, Kathy. How are you? Lisa. Lisa made yogurt bread. Yogurt bread? You got to share that one, my dear. Don't keep that. Oh, this is so funny. Kathy, I'm sorry, dear. Afternoon, Jan, you're enjoying Dandy Blend. I never heard of Dandy Blend. That's why I love this. I'm learning something every day. Yogurt, bread, dandy. Doug, you're procrastinating by watching this and not peeling your potatoes in order to make hot chicken sandwiches. Doug, I didn't mean to interfere with your peeling of potatoes for your hot chicken sandwich tonight. Well, you can peel it and listen to me at the same time, I'm sure. You never know how someone's video or live show can actually change something around. Well, anyway, I'm going to go now, but this was a wonderful last sip of tea with you, but definitely not for me. Anyway, it was really nice having you guys here this afternoon. So I'm going to come back tonight with that a little tiny upload, and please come back tomorrow. And please, the main thing, head over to the Mornings with Granny channel. Look at the items. She shows about 6 items, and they're like very paltry, like pieces of things, bits of things. How would you stretch that item for meals? Oh, okay, I appreciate your sharing it, Lisa. Thank you. Oh, good. Tapioca pudding is good, Steve says. And Doug loves or likes tapioca. Michigan Lady. And Michigan Lady is wishing everyone a great day. And guess what? So am I. I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow morning at 6:15. If not, see you on playback. And I look forward to seeing everybody again when? Real soon. Have a great day. Thank you, Kathy. I see you leaving me a message here. Kathy's wishing everybody well. Take good care, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon.